Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are we doing? I'm so
We've got our
excited to
coffee.
be back. Cheers.
We're back
We're back.
again. We're
I
always
feel like
back.
that's always the
I
trend.
know. We do terrible at
I
like.
know.
We just got
There's
so
much
many
going on.
things,
I
you
know.
know. We want to do the show
We're
more
into
often.
shit, you guys. So if you're here, welcome. Thanks
Do you
want to
hear the story about her glasses?
Oh my
We'll tell
god. You would.
We'll tell it
I
later.
don't mind.
No,
I
it's
have
okay.
nothing to hide.
We'll tell it later. Or do you want to start with that? So she needs glasses, right? Which I think look great on her.
Thank you.
She wore glasses when we met. I don't know why she didn't say wouldn't look great now. But anyway, she needs glasses. And last year, to the day,
I refuse.
we went to the optometrist. She had her eyes checked. They filled a prescription. Her glasses were ready. And she never went to pick them up. Ever.
That's
We drove by that doctor's office
right.
hundreds of
I
times.
know. I just don't want to
And-
have to keep needing them and keep needing.
And
to
she
get
never
them,
got them.
like,
And sure enough,
whatever.
her eyes bother her. And she went to the doctor again and explained the whole situation.
I'm picking them up this week, you guys.
So,
I will be wearing my
New
glasses.
doctor, new prescription.
Hello.
She's got new glasses coming.
I do.
Let's see.
They're cute.
You guys should check back in a few days and see if she picked them up.
7 to 10 business days. I'm
From-
gonna pick them up.
Okay.
I can't
We'll see.
drive without them.
No, it's dangerous. It's very
Hi.
dangerous.
Hi, guys.
So,
Okay.
we're back.
We're back,
We are
bitches.
on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are recording for Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud. So wherever you are listening to us, welcome.
Yes.
If you're here for the first time,
Yes.
welcome. And if you are a regular of the show, welcome back.
Hi, Pam.
So it has been a busy
Busy.
October, November. Last time we were on, we had Julie as our guest.
That's right.
And before that, we had Juan as our guest.
Mhm.
And we actually have more guests pending.
So many.
But,
Well, you know what? That reminds me. I gotta set that up.
okay. But it just was a roller coaster of things because it was show month.
Mhm.
And for those of you that have been following along this journey, a lot of the shows got canceled this year. And then the last two shows of the year kind of got combined into one. So
Yeah.
the pro show, which is usually in Atlantic City in December, got moved up a week,
Mhm.
which is the one she was going to do. And then the amateur show got moved down a week or two.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we were in Miami for
All of it.
for all of it. And sure enough, we've got our team and
Yeah.
her prep and Bree's prep and
It was
coordinating. But it was a lot of stuff. I mean, she started recording for her YouTube show 20 weeks ago.
Yeah, 20 weeks out.
20 weeks ago. So if you haven't seen it, like she's got 20 weeks worth of prep on
Yes.
her YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And you could see the ups and downs and all
Ins and
of the
outs.
ins and outs and all the things that happened during this time, like a lot of uncertainty.
Yes.
And we couldn't be happier and more grateful that it all happened.
happened.
You know,
Totally.
it was an interesting weekend
Yeah.
because there were certainly more restrictions that we anticipated.
Yeah.
But
Which
we
is
are,
understandable
we are
because
super happy that it
everyone
happened.
wants to, make sure that you're courteous of how people feel about the
Right,
situation. So we're not against the restrictions. It just definitely was a different vibe than the usual show.
Right.
But it was great.
But it was a great weekend. You
Yes,
know,
it
from
was.
the
It was
moment
so
that we
fun.
arrived
Yes.
through registration and the team photo shoot.
And you
the
know what's
show.
funny? I normally don't participate in a show where we have a really big team, right? Because it's a lot of work to have a really big team, and I like to make sure that I'm there for them, and I'm not concerned with anything else but them. So I normally don't compete at a show if we have a big team. I just choose a different show where we have less people. And I was a little bit like, not scared, but going into it, I was like, damn, this is going to be rough because I need to focus on what I'm doing.
Right.
But I also want to make sure that I show up for them in the way that I want to.
Right.
But they are just so awesome.
Yeah.
And we just had such an amazing...
Shout out to our team.
Yes,
you
guys are epic. And it didn't for a second feel like I thought it would. You know, like
right.
It was just great.
Because you start to get pulled in different directions.
Yeah, and I didn't feel that way. Of course, there's a lot of stress and a lot of moving parts, and not necessarily bad stress, but it didn't feel like, damn, I should have not done this show because I have so many people who are doing it. You know, it was so good. It was such an amazing weekend.
Anyway,
go back.
if like I was saying before, we have a lot of first timers, and typically I don't even go over this. We just jump right into the show. But if you were listening for the first time,
I mean, this is kind of a post-show episode. So
this is a post-show episode, but our show is typically about, you know, all the things that are happening within all the things that we do, right?
Yeah.
So whether that be some contest stuff, whether it be some fitness stuff or some eating stuff, maybe it's some parenting. Did we ever do that show on parenting?
I think so.
I think we did a show on parenting, or at least the way that we parent, which is very different.
Very different.
But we basically wanted an opportunity to chat with everybody so that, you know, we could talk a little bit about fitness, but maybe talk a little bit about life too. You know, over the weekend, Junior had his first karate evaluation. Mm-hmm. Junior was doing swimming before.
For a few years.
And he did really well. And we've tried martial arts before. But
we tried jujitsu,
but he kind of didn't connect.
He didn't like it.
And we just got him started on karate. And from day one, he was all in.
He wants to be a ninja, so...
He wants to be a ninja.
That was right up his alley.
Right. So from day one, he was all in. He loved it.
He was very excited.
And he accelerated really, really fast.
It's so interesting, like, when you actually enjoy something, how all in you naturally go into it.
It happens with the people that
that's what I'm saying, with everybody. Like, he was so interested, and he was excited to, you know, kick and scream and do all the things that you don't do in jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about martial arts that much, but watching that, like, he was so excited. Even now, like, if we're at the grocery store, he's, like, doing his stuff, you know? And it's obvious how much he enjoys it. It's so different how we act when we enjoy it.
And that's, again, look how fast he's picked up so much of that because he does enjoy it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm pretty sure I sent that in an email over the weekend. That's what happens with this stuff, right? Like, if you hate what you're doing, like if you hate your workout program, if you hate your diet, like, the likelihood of you doing it on a regular basis is really difficult. There's no way that you could sustain it. And that's why we tell people you have to find something that's sustainable, but not sustainable because it's the right thing. Sustainable because you want to continue to do it. You know?
To enjoy it. And I think that that's a lot what happens with our team. You know, even on the days where you are tired or where you would rather eat something else, you have kind of like that goal, right? Like the goal of the stage, and you have the people that are in that journey with you that are reminding you, even though they don't know that they're reminding you about why you're doing it or what you're doing. Right. So there are things that kind of keep the excitement and the fun keeps you on track.
Right. So I guess one of the things that we probably should do is kind of recap a little bit about what's been going on since our interview with Julie. And then maybe get into some of the things that are coming next.
For sure.
So sure enough, what we wanted to do, or what we are going to do, is honestly like set up an interview with all of the people that competed. Like I said, we did the interview with Juan, we did the interview with Julie, we've done interviews with Erica, with Jen, like we've done a few. It's always so cool for everybody to hear their perspective.
Their story.
Because if you've listened to our podcast before, if you've watched it, you know, you kind of get us, like, and whatever we're saying or whatever we think, but it's so cool to hear it from them. Mm-hmm. I think that sometimes it's more relatable.
Yeah, and I think, too, like, for us, we make it a point to really show our journey, right, on social media, on YouTube. Like, we make that, like, a thing. Like, I want to show everyone what we're doing, how we're doing it. But I think a lot of the people on our team don't do that because they're not really that into social media, and that's okay. Right. But this interview or this talk with them is an opportunity for them to really share that. So I feel like sometimes when people listen to us, they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that on your Instagram, or I saw that on your thing, right? Like, they already know that about us or our prep. But when it's someone new, they might relate better, and they might not even be aware of their story and their journey.
Right. So we're going to cover a lot of those, so we're going to set those up. And they'll probably happen in drips and drags and things like
and
that.
they'll probably mostly be virtual too, just
Right.
easier.
But moving forward, so I think it was Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
Where, again, there was still a lot of uncertainty. Like the show was 50-50, Everybody wanted to make it happen, but, rules kept changing. Whatever's going on kept changing.
I almost wish we didn't have as much inside information as we did, because if you don't have the information, then you don't even know that all that stuff is happening, right? Like all the back and forth, but we knew how much stuff was happening, and it's so stressful to prep like that, because you're like, is it happening? Is it not happening?
Right. So I think it was Saturday. Halloween was Halloween, right?
I think
31st?
I think so.
So that was like, okay, we're 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening. Like, we really got to get it together. And not that, the interesting part about prepping is that it is the sum of the whole, right? It is not those last 4 weeks. It is the whole year. Like, if you think about it, she got ready for a show exactly like she was on stage a year ago today. She was in Atlantic City. It was a year ago today in Atlantic City, getting on stage. And our goal leaving Atlantic City was to take the year, a full year, to make progress. Unintentionally, we ended up having to, because even if she wanted to compete sooner, it wasn't a possibility. It wasn't a possibility. So we unintentionally took the year that we said we wanted to take. So that was a win.
Which I probably wouldn't have taken if I had an option.
Probably
I would have
not.
been like, can I do this show?
Right.
So I was forced.
So, and again, with the uncertainty of whether or not that was going to happen, it's hard, because you go in these waves, and it's like, do I keep prepping? Do I just like call it and whatever, which I don't even know what it means, because,
I don't know that I can do whatever anymore.
I don't think so.
It would stress me out.
Right. I think that most people may not grasp the idea that it's ingrained in you. Like,
And you work way
4,
too hard.
5, 6 days a week, you're going to work out regardless.
No matter what.
You're watching what you're eating 80% of the time.
It becomes part of your day,
Yeah, it's very
part of your
normal.
routine. It doesn't really become like a weight.
Right, it's very
or a
normal.
chore.
So Halloween went by. We got to make this happen. We had Thanksgiving coming up. We had just done a photo shoot on the beach in Hollywood, and it seemed like everything was happening. And we just said, all right, we got to move forward as if this is happening. And then everything went into full gear.
Full gear.
Yeah, everybody got nervous. Stress was up. Everybody started to freak out because it was really happening. And then those last couple weeks, I think that
They were rough.
they were rough.
In full
We're feeling it now.
transparency, they were rough. Oh
They
my
were rough.
gosh. Last week, I was recovering the entire week from not just show weekend, probably from the last few months.
Mhm.
Like, it was just like, I'm just going to do nothing.
And I think that was the first time that happens ever.
We were talking about it since
Yeah.
I had Junior.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
5.5
Full
years.
week.
A full week off. I took a full week off training. I took a full week off tracking my food, tracking my water. Like, I just didn't do anything
And,
other than work.
and here's the thing: if you're listening to that, and you're like, "Oh wow, full week! You took a full week off." That's
so terrible.
no, but that's the thing. I think that sometimes people don't realize that's your. It's like if she didn't shower for a week.
Literally.
It's the same. Like,
Yeah.
it's not effort. There's not a lot of effort into tracking the food
and
and
you
working
know
out.
that you should.
Right, so yeah.
It stresses me out not to do it, but
So-
I was just too tired. I was like, I can't.
So
I don't
taking
know
that
what to
week
think about
off
anything.
was, uncommon and unusual. So it was effortful
yeah.
to do that,
Yeah.
So anyway, so we kept moving forward. Stress was high, and then we had a bunch of things coming up. Thanksgiving was coming up. My mom was coming into town. I hadn't seen my mom in a while. We had outings. We went to a couple shows in Orlando.
Not WBFF shows.
Not
like
WBFF,
NBC shows.
right. Went to a couple shows in Orlando. We're fans of the sport. It's like if you like basketball,
Yeah. I like to go watch.
if you like basketball and you're a Miami Heat fan, but the big three, the other league is playing, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So same thing. So we went to watch a couple shows. It was super cool to watch how things have kept going in this environment, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Shows were happening, people were prepping, people were working out. It was
We're
super
out.
cool
Yeah.
to watch all of it. We had a couple of delicious outings along the way that, fortunately enough, we were able to control or damage control. So the outings happened, and then there was damage control.
Yeah.
So show week happened.
That's got to be like, I think, the hardest part for me, like our outings, because I love to go out to eat. Like, we're not big drinkers.
Right.
We're not partiers, and we're really not that like social. Like, we don't have like a crazy social life, but we enjoy going out to eat, and that's always okay. Like, we always make that work. But when you're a couple weeks out, like, I think it starts to become more mental than anything else.
Right.
You know, that's, I think, if anything is hard for me, is like the last few weeks, because that's when I want stuff for no reason, because I've had it all my whole prep.
Isn't that funny? Like,
and I'm aware of that, but it's still like your
that
mind.
to me is the funniest part.
Yeah.
Because from the outside, it's easy to make observations, right? And you start to observe, and so much of the stress or the needs or the cravings are all mental. Like, it's such a little bit of a mind, you know.
It's so fun to be next to him all the time and have him point it all out to you and analyze you and be like, this is happening because of this. And I'm like, I know, I just really want that dessert. He's like, you had dessert 2 days ago. So for you guys that already work with him, if you think he points stuff out to you, you have no idea.
You know, again, I think that we should utilize our platform to explain that. You know, I think that as I coach more people, I see that more and more people start to tell themselves a story about what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
And then they
what they want more.
they convince themselves that they can't do something, and then they want it like
a kid.
Like a kid, like, you know, like they have this ravishing desire to get it. And it's like, I can't have it, I can't. And the funnier part is, someone will text me and say, hey, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I really want X. And I'll say, okay, have some. No, I can't. I can't do it.
Maybe they just wanted to vent.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
Anyway, so we had the show.
Yes.
And the show weekend was great. We had a great time in Miami for that show. And we look forward to an amazing 2021 season.
Looking so good.
It is looking so good. Not only are we going to bring more people to the stage this season, but the level of transformation that happened that weekend was insane. Like,
it was insane.
Not just the physical transformations that our people went through, because honestly they all look great. Like, if you've seen those before and afters, they all look great. You know, and
all in such a relatively short period of time.
Right. They all look great. But the other transformation, you know, that personal growth, that, you know, coming out of their shell, you know, those were so cool to watch. Those transformative experiences are really the best to watch.
Yep.
And
it's my favorite part.
And that is, I think, what excites us the most about this next season and more people. We get to watch. Honestly, it's like it's like a drug for us, right? We get to watch that happen. Like,
the funny part is, it's not funny, but they don't even know what's about to happen.
Right.
Like, to me, that's the coolest part. Like, someone comes onto the team because, you know, they want to transform their body and they see all of us experiencing it. Maybe they want to experience it too. But I'm looking at them,
want
I'm
abs
like,
and hard glutes and tight legs.
And I'm like, you have no idea what's about to happen to you in your life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know.
That
and
is
like,
the coolest part.
you can't like expect it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even go into it wanting that. Like, it's just part of that journey. It's my favorite part. It's so cool to watch.
It is. So we left the show and immediately came back and we put together a webinar.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't do anything last week, but we worked.
Let me
We
tell you
always
something.
work.
Our idea of not doing something is
very different.
It's very different. But we came back Monday from the show, and Tuesday night we had a webinar. Mm-hmm. The first one of many coming up, you know, kind of to give people an introduction. Anybody that was curious about the stage or what it takes or what it's about or whatever. We just wanted to provide that info for anybody who wanted it, you know, and we had a couple of people show up for that webinar. we've been showcasing the webinar's titled "So You Think You Want to Compete," right? Because it's about that, like, it's about that curiosity. It's not. It's for the person doing it for the first time that's curious about it, wondering whether or not they could do it.
Right.
So
what it takes.
So
what
our
entails.
webinar was about that, and we're having another one. So if you guys want more info, like, let us know.
Yes.
But we also put out a book titled the same way. So You Think You Want to Compete, and it kind of itemizes all of the same things. And again, maybe you can see it live and chat with us. Our webinar, we try to make it interactive so that we can answer questions.
Yeah.
But we did put it in writing so that if you want to read it, that's out there as well.
So
But
if you want any of that, let us know.
yeah, but the experience was so cool
Yeah.
to watch unfold.
Yeah.
So we will be doing a lot more of that.
Yeah, because for
in
us,
2021.
we do have a lot of different people on our team, a lot of different starting points, right? But I think like one of the things we really like to push all the time is like for the person who doesn't know that they could do it or doesn't think they could do it, doesn't know anything about it, right? Like that's how I started. Like he's obviously been doing this for a really long time, and he knew what it was when I took it to him, obviously, and I've watched him watch bodybuilding forever. But like I didn't know anything. I didn't think that I could do it. I didn't think that was even a goal I would ever set for myself. Like it was so foreign to me. I was so shy. I was so insecure. I was like, it like was so far out of reach for me in every way. And that's what I love, like to meet people like that, like that feel the same way that I did, and that we can kind of guide through this experience and they can come out on the other side so changed. So we push a lot of that first timer information out, or people who have no idea, because we love for people who don't even think about this to know that it's a possibility, to know that it's out there, and see if it's something that maybe they would want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the magic is.
So we're going to be doing a lot of that coming up, and we are already working on next season, because there's really not a reason to wait. There's not a reason to wait for a lot of the things that you want to do. Like whatever it is,
started today.
Like whatever it is that you want to
So
do,
excited.
whether you want to embark on the journey of weight loss, or you want to embark on the journey of getting yourself involved in fitness, or you want to embark on the journey of opening a business, like there is never a time like today. Today is the best day, right?
Setting those goals is so important.
Having clarity in your goal is important. But that's why, like, we literally left the show Monday morning. We checked out of the hotel, and on our drive home, we talked about what we were going to do. We had that webinar on Tuesday, and we spent a lot of the rest of the week having Zoom consultations, having meetings with people. Because the truth is that now, because of the way things are, it's so easy to connect with anybody.
No matter where they
like
are.
look at this show. Like, right, we're recording on 2 different platforms. It's going to be on YouTube. You could listen to it.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff allows us to reach more people. And it allows, when all we had was the gym, or I'll go even further, when all we had was the boot camp.
Right.
When it was a boot camp where we were outside, grinding it out in the heat, a lot of people would say, oh, if only you were closer.
Or the rain.
Right. If only you were closer, I'd come. I'd want to do those workouts. And now, a lot of what we do is oversee a lot of what's happening. So with all this technology and all this reach, it's so cool to be able to reach more people,
It really is. We just had someone that joined our team today that she lives in Louisiana.
Right.
It's so cool that we get to talk to and meet people from all over, and even like one of the girls on our team lives in Chicago, right? And she's been with us for months, and we just met her in
New York.
Miami.
Yeah.
Right, we have people everywhere, but I'm saying like the just recent people. It's so cool that we can be a part of someone's journey no matter where they are, and they can be a part of what we're doing no matter where they are.
Yeah.
Can you please put the link to watch?
Yes, we'll put the link for you to watch.
But then moving forward, the reason that we wanted to get a lot of that started today is because a lot of the girls that just got on stage, they were at that show last year.
Yeah,
And they
to
were
watch.
already on their journey.
Yes.
And it was so great that they gave themselves that much time.
Yes.
Because they were able to take it slow, let their bodies, unfold and come together the way
time.
that we wanted it to, and give it
And the
enough
whole
time.
experience requires time. Your body, all the little details.
Like
You want to be
anything
able to
else.
enjoy it, right? You want to be able to enjoy designing your suit and, all the different details, bringing them all together. And the cool thing, too, is back to the goal dates and clarity of goal. All of them already have their next goal,
Mhm.
right? And they have a date. So that's so important because sometimes you leave something that big, a goal like that, and if you're aimless, it'll really kind of mess with you because you've had a goal for so long, you've actively been pursuing it for so long. It's kind of like your purpose, like it's what you do every day. So to have nothing is, not a good idea. And they already have a goal, they have a date, and they're already working towards that. And
Right.
that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
They're not waiting until next year. They already started.
So that's what we got going on coming up. Other things that we have going on is figuring out which Nespresso coffee we are going to
Here we
get,
go.
because Nespresso screwed me big time.
First of all, it took me months to convince him to get a
Technically-
machine. And then when I convinced him to get a machine, he's like, yeah, I get it. Because probably I was nagging too long. He's like, but I don't want any. So I had the machine just for me.
Let me tell you something.
And then it took me months to convince him, try this one, try that one. He wouldn't try anything. And then finally, a pod that says Puerto Rico on it came out. I'm like, you have to try it. It's Puerto Rican. He finally tried it. I'm talking like probably 6 months after the machine is when you had the coffee. And then they took away the Puerto Rico pods.
And it was amazing. Amazing. I had it
Nespresso!
twice a day.
Girl out!
twice a day.
Twice
And
a day,
then-
more than that.
I'm being conservative because people don't know us.
They don't know you and your 7 coffees.
And then they took it away.
They took away the Nespresso.
And let me tell you something.
Puerto
I had
Rico
a
pod.
great routine before. I would go and go to a window and get my
Cuban
espresso.
coffee.
Or I would have my process in the morning. I'd do my French press, and I would portion everything and measure everything. And I had a little kettle where I would boil my water. It was great.
Except it's
You know,
2020 and he's
you
with a
know,
kettle.
It was great. I could measure my water, and I could measure the beans. I would, do the beans every morning.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience.
You should do it.
And every morning, I had my kettle boiling. She was like, oh, look, I just press a button. I didn't interfere with her stuff, right? And
well, you don't really have as much to say as I do all the time.
And sure enough, we got on this Nespresso thing, and now it's
I brought him
ruined.
over to the good
It
side.
has ruined everything.
Well,
Everything.
but I thought you liked the one I just got.
It's okay. Okay.
Maybe you should try other ones.
I don't want to try anything.
Well,
I want them to bring my coffee back.
well, you should write to them.
Maybe I will. Anyway,
I already wrote to them.
I also have beef with this. These little trackers on your wrist,
I
right?
love mine.
Well, one, it's not that I have beef with it, but I don't like the vibrating stuff. It's.
Oh my god,
Like
it
a-
cracked my screen.
But let me tell you something. This thing, when I got it, so like I had the Fitbit, and then so
Because he doesn't do Apple stuff, you guys.
I don't. Do
We're
Apple.
split households.
We are a split household,
I only do Apple stuff.
and I am a Google.
He's a Google guy.
I'm a Google person. So I was able to sync this with Google Fit, and I turned it on the strength training setting, right? And it says start working out. I'd never used it. I didn't read the instructions either. I just started. And I forgot what I was doing. I think I was doing a Russian twist. I was warming up. So I'm going like this, right, with the watch. And I'm thinking it's just going to take time. Like it's just going to track how long I worked out at my heart rate. So I did my reps, and then I put the ball down, and then I'm looking at it, and it says Russian twist, 16 reps. Shit. It's watching me.
It's watching me.
It's watching me.
I think that's epic,
And
though.
then I was doing something
It
else,
logs your workout
and
for
then
you.
it pretty accurately can guess what moves, unless it's a lower body move where my hand isn't moving, it can pretty accurately guess all of the moves that I'm doing. That is so weird.
It's so cool.
It's super cool. I love the techie stuff, but it's weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Have any of you noticed that you say something out loud and all of a sudden there's ads for it on your Instagram
Yeah, I
or
want to know
Facebook?
how that works. I
How
want to
does
know
that
how to
work?
make my ads appear when someone's talking about working out and fitness.
No, seriously. Like I understand if you go on a website, and they track it and there's
Right, because you
cookies.
type something in.
Right, or
But
you
if
Google
you
something.
talk about it.
It happened the other day. We were talking about something for Brie, and
Yeah.
there were ads for it like instantaneously.
Yeah, on my stuff and stuff that I've never searched ever.
That was super weird.
The other day we were also talking about gyms, and all of a sudden I started getting gym ads, like Equinox. And
That's
stuff
right.
Like
The other day we were talking about gyms.
Literally just having a conversation.
We were talking about looking for a gym membership or whatever, and then all of a sudden ads for Equinox showed up.
It was weird.
So-
I've never gotten a gym ad before.
So my watch can read what moves I'm doing.
The
The
phone
phone's
can hear.
listening to whatever I'm saying. It's some freaky stuff, people.
Yep.
Freaky stuff. But needless to say, a lot of it is super convenient. Most of you know that she has an Amazon problem, and
Way to just throw that out there.
and it
I don't have an
is
Amazon
truly
account. I'm contributing to the economy.
it is truly a convenience because
Convenience is everything.
convenience is everything. And honestly, like even the stuff that we do, right? What's the convenience there? I'm in touch with everybody that I'm coaching all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Because we're able to do it through the phone. So it's super convenient. If one of my clients is out at Chipotle, they can text me from Chipotle and say, "Hey coach, I'm at Chipotle, you know, what should I get? What can I have?" Or hey coach, I had this for breakfast and now
it
the
allows
office
you to be with the person.
right,
all
the
time.
office ordered lunch. Here's what they got, you know, how do I work this out?
Yeah.
So while a lot of this technology stuff is weird sometimes because we don't get it, like it does allow us to do other stuff that's really good.
Like we said before, to be a part of people's journey no matter where they are too. Like it allows us to connect. Obviously there's downsides of technology and of social
Right.
media. There's downsides, right? And pluses and minuses to everything. But I definitely think that, especially in a year like this year, it's really allowed people
It's been
to
super cool.
connect. It's allowed us to order stuff that just comes to the house instead of having to go to a store when everything's so crazy. I think convenience is everything.
Convenience is key.
Because it saves you time, and time is the most valuable thing we all
That's it.
have.
That's really what it comes out to.
Mhm.
So our next episode will be an interview. And, another thing that I want to do is interview other people too.
That's what I was going to say. I don't want to just interview team members. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
like it's cool, but our show is not about contest
Just
prep
contest prep, right?
or just working out.
Yeah.
We do like to talk, like we wanted to do the show, we could talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
Because all we do is talk about workout stuff. So we are going to interview other people.
Yes.
And we got a lot of stuff coming.
And hopefully we're able to do this how we want to, which is once a week.
Right.
Maybe twice.
I know that we've been slacking on the show. Forever. Even when quarantine started, we were going to do it every day.
I know.
And I think we did it
That
like
was so
three
ambitious.
days in a row. But shit happens, and it's like we got busy, So ideally, we are doing the show once a week.
I would love to do Mondays and Fridays, but
That would be cool.
start the week, end the week.
Maybe we could do like one interview and then like a recap.
Once, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
that'd be
guys
cool.
think? Tell
Yeah,
us.
what do you think?
Tell us what you think. What do you want to hear about? What do you want us to talk about? I mean,
That's one of the things that I've always said would be great. Like, a lot of times people watch the show and they're like, "Oh, I saw the show," and,
Yeah.
and like, I'm glad you guys talked about this.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we sit here, we're like, okay, let's do a recap of this and let's talk about this. And a lot of times it goes back to food or to fitness, but maybe people want like more of a technical explanation on certain things that you maybe.
Yeah,
never
I don't
give.
get very techy because I don't know if you want to know.
Right, not everyone, exactly. Or maybe someone's like, talk about parenting or relationships, right? So it's like, we're open to suggestions.
Yeah. So if there's something that you guys want to hear,
Let us know.
If you are listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, what's the other one? iHeartRadio. You could like it, share. No, I'm good. This thing is like drying my throat.
Yeah, because you're talking.
Yes. So if you are watching on Facebook, we have a Facebook page where we do the show live and then kind of everything kind of filters through there.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, watching it on YouTube, the replay.
Yeah.
Do the stuff that people want.
This is what people do. Like, share, comment.
100%. So that is all we got for today,
Alright, you
people.
guys.
Enjoy your week. It is Monday,
Yes.
December 7th. Peace out.
Great one. All right, I want to check. There are some people here that I need to chat with because then it disappears. All right, here we go. Hey, guys.